What's going on, guys? Aero here, and guys, with the recent release of Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch, there have been many new things that have been added into the world of Splatoon. And I know if you guys have been playing Splatoon 2 a lot like I have, then one of these new things that I'm sure you guys have noticed are brand new abilities. Now in Splatoon 2, there are a whole bunch of new abilities that are in the game that weren't available in the original version of Splatoon on the Wii U, as well as having some abilities that were in Splatoon on the Wii U removed in Splatoon 2. Now if you guys have been playing Splatoon 2, then I'm sure you've noticed one new ability called Special Power Up. Now this is a really cool ability because it makes all of your special weapons really powerful, but if you go to the section in the Splatoon 2 game where it talks about all of these abilities and you can learn about them, and if you go to Special Power Up and read the description for it, it just says improves the effectiveness of your special weapon, which I think is definitely the dumbest description to ever give to this ability, because we all know that it's going to make our special weapons powerful, but it doesn't tell us exactly how, and that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about in this video. I'm going to be telling you guys every single special weapon that's in the game right now, and how using special power up on these special weapons will make them stronger in the game. Now this is only for the special weapons that are introduced when the game is launched, because I know they were talking about how they're going to add updates with new special weapons and stuff, so those special weapons, if I can find out the changes for them once they're added with the updates, I'll have those special weapons in the description. That'll be the pinned comment. You guys can find those below. But yeah, I think that right now all of the special weapons that we have currently, I can tell you guys exactly what special power up does to these special weapons. And so yeah, let's super jump right into it. Alright, so the first special weapon that we have right here is the Bomb Rush, and this is basically that special weapon that allows you to throw a whole bunch of bombs in different directions. And so if you guys are using the special power up ability with this special, it's basically just going to increase the duration of the special. So that's pretty good. You're going to be able to throw more bombs and it's going to last longer, so I think that that's pretty cool. It can still help out the special, and yeah, that's basically all it does to the Bomb Rush special. Alright, so the next special weapon that we have here is the Ink Armor special weapon. And so now the Ink Armor special weapon is the one that you get with the very first weapon that you start out with in Splatoon 2, the Splattershot Jr. It also comes on some other weapons as well. And so this is that special that allows your entire team to be covered in like armor, and it allows them to get like an extra hit when they're taking damage. And so this basically has the same effect as the other one with an increase to the duration. Now I think that this can definitely be useful, especially with Ink Armor, because of how it applies to your whole team. It's definitely going to be useful if your entire team can have Ink Armor for a longer amount of time, so I think that that's pretty cool. And yeah, if you're using special power up with Ink Armor, you're basically just getting a longer duration. Alright, now the next special weapon that we have here is the Baller, and I know a lot of you guys like the Baller because it's a really fun special weapon to use. So this is like that ball where you can get in and roll around, and then you can explode with a whole bunch of ink in different directions. Now if you're using special power up with this special weapon, then the increase that's actually going to happen is to your health. Now I'm sure you guys know, if you've used the Baller weapon, that it's not like an infinite shield, but you have a certain amount of hits you can take on the Baller before it just explodes. And so if you're using special power up, you're going to have an increase to the health for the Baller weapon. So that's pretty useful. I think you're definitely going to be able to travel more and get to different areas if you have more health, because if you're taking a lot of damage, you're going to be able to survive longer before you can actually explode with all that ink everywhere. So that's a pretty useful change to having special power up on the Baller weapon. Now the next special weapon that we have here is the Inkjet special weapon, and so this is basically going to allow you to put on like a jetpack that propels you with ink up in the air, and you can launch a whole bunch of ink blobs at people. So it's a pretty fun weapon to use, and if you're using the special power up ability with this special weapon, you're pretty much just getting the same as some of the other ones. You're just going to get an increased duration. So I think that that's still pretty cool. If you're going to have like an aerial view for a longer time, that's definitely going to be good for you to be able to hit some people and get some areas covered with ink. So that's definitely pretty useful. And I still think that having a longer duration of the inkjet can be very useful in certain situations. Alright, now the next special weapon that we have here is still another really fun one to use in Splatoon 2, and this is the Ink Storm special weapon. So now this is that special weapon where you launch a rocket up into the sky and it creates a cloud that starts raining down ink. So it's a really fun special weapon to use, and if you're using the special power up ability with this special weapon, you're pretty much getting the same change as most of the other special weapons with an increased duration. Now I think that this can definitely be really useful, because especially in a mode like Splat Zones, the Ink Storm is a special weapon where the opponents can't control it. Like they can't shoot up at the cloud and try to make it smaller or anything, so they can't really control the cloud. And especially if you have a longer duration of raining down ink that they can't control, that can definitely make a big difference. So I think that that's a really good change to have on the Ink Storm special weapon. Alright, now the next special weapon that we have here is the Splashdown special weapon. Now this is a really cool special weapon to use because it creates a big explosion of ink and it swirls around in all different directions around you, so it's a really fun special weapon to use, but I'm sure you guys know that this animation only lasts for a few seconds. Like the Splashdown, it happens in a few seconds and then it's over, so you can't really add to the duration of that if you're using a special power-up ability, and so in this case for the Splashdown special weapon, you're actually going to get a bigger blast radius from using the special power-up ability. So I think that that's pretty cool. You're going to be able to cover more ink, and so that's pretty interesting. You're not going to be getting a damage buff though, so it's not like it's going to be doing more damage to your opponents, but it's still pretty good how you're going to be able to cover more ink. So I guess the more special power-up abilities you have with this special, the more area you're going to be able to cover, so that's really cool, and that can definitely make a big difference. Alright, now the next special weapon that we have here is the Stingray special weapon, and now this is definitely a special weapon that's a little bit hard to use, but it's still a really cool special weapon because it shoots a giant beam of ink that can go through walls, and if you're using the special power-up ability with this special weapon, you're just going to be getting an increased duration. And now I still think that this can be really useful because if you're using this special when you're surrounded by teammates, or if you got a wall to cover you up, then I still think that it can be useful if you have a longer amount of time to put a lot of ink on the battlefield, so it's still a pretty useful special weapon. And finally, the last special weapon that we have here is my personal favorite, and this special weapon is called the Tencel Missiles. Now the Tencel Missiles are a really cool special weapon because it allows you to aim for a whole bunch of enemies, and then it's going to shoot a whole bunch of ink missiles that are going to follow the enemies that you've targeted, and so it's a really cool special weapon to use, and if you're using the special power-up ability with this special weapon, it's actually going to increase the size of the targeting reticle, which is really cool because that means you're going to be able to aim for more people as you have a bigger range to shoot the missiles, so I think it's a really cool way to increase the power of that special weapon. And so there you go guys, those are all of the special weapons that are in Splatoon 2 as of right now, and all of the ways that the special power up ability affects those weapons. And so if this video helped you guys out, then please be sure to click that like button, and also comment down below on any other tips that you guys have for Splatoon 2 players as well. I'm always curious to see what you guys have to say. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I've got a lot of cool Splatoon 2 content coming out, as well as some Nintendo content that's going to be coming in the future as well, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero if you ever want to tweet me something or ask me something. I'm always able to reply to everyone on Twitter, so definitely go and follow me there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.